Good morning. It's a beautiful Sunday morning here in south central Nebraska. And this is my Aronia Berry field. These two rows are 6 years old, fully mature, and producing some beautiful fruit. My operation is 100% naturalized, meaning no chemical use whatsoever and very little human touch. I don't use any chemicals, as I said, and I also don't irrigate unless it's extreme drought conditions. This season, I did not irrigate one single time, and I guesstimate I will be getting between, conservatively, 250 pounds of fruit off of these 80 bushes, but I wouldn't be surprised if I'm able to pick it all off if I get close to 350, the way it's coming together. I've been quite astonished at the production this year and love the Aronia Berry. I grow these for their health attributes, full of antioxidants and polyphenols. If you read on the internet about them, they are fabulous. I pick them and I put them in the freezer. I try to put them in the freezer. I do small batch and put them in the freezer within an hour of picking them to preserve all of their nutrients. And then I turn them into juice, concentrate, and drink it. I do use some also. Another thing that I've started doing with them is making tincture. And so I'll take the fresh berries and put them in a solvent. I use an alcohol solvent, vodka specifically, and soak them for 6 weeks, giving the jar a shake. I just use quart jars and fill them 3/4 full with the berries and smash them a little bit to break the skin, and then fill the jar up with vodka and then let them soak for 6 weeks, shaking them, like I said, every few days. And then I strain them through cheesecloth and I make a highly concentrated tincture out of them. And then we use that straight under the tongue, about 10 drops straight under the tongue. I always say if you're man enough, because it's potent, but it's awesome. Or you can put a dropper full in a beautiful cup of hot tea or a bottle of water. Or you could I put a dripper full in my smoothies sometimes. Possibilities are endless how you can consume tincture, but the health benefits are phenomenal, and it's a great way to preserve the crop and use it. I give it as gifts. My kids use it. My youngest son in particular. There's my little picking bucket. So that's how I use it. Of course, you could put these in pies and jams and jellies and all the other things that you use fruit for. But that's not why I am growing them, and that's not how I use them. I will throw handfuls in smoothies, frozen handfuls with other berries, but they're not sweet. They're actually quite astringent, and they kind of have if you love dry red wines, you will love these fresh. If you love that dry aftertaste that you get from a beautiful dry wine. But if you're not into that, you won't like these. These aren't blueberries, and they're not grown, or they're not, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, they're not intended for, that's not what they're about. They're about their health attributes. This is nature's medicine, and as you can tell, I'm totally in love with them. So that's what I use them for. And Jesse does come out here and help me a little bit. Anyway, so these are my mature plants, and these over here are my babies. May need to do some weeding over there. They're struggling. I used, again, experimenting. I used smaller plant stock over on these 150 or so. And I did take some soil samples, and I don't know if why they don't seem to be thriving and growing. I just think they need, at that stage, as small as they were, I should probably irrigate them and obviously weed them. But it was a learning experience, and they're holding their own. They're just, if you know, commercially, I know that those are just too small and would definitely need way more hands-on. These over here, I had much bigger plant stock, and it's definitely the way to go if you're doing naturalized. So that is what I learned over there with those. So we'll see how they do. We had some beautiful rains this year, and so my crop has just been phenomenal, and I'm just tickled and wanted to share. Back there is where my dream is to plant. I have about 16 acres back behind the house there, an alfalfa field that I would love to plant to Aronia Berry if I get the right partners to help me. Anyway, so that is my Aronia Berry story.